Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 products that only exist in Japan. So Japan is known for a bunch of stuff. Sushi, anime, but also weird products. There are some things Japanese inventors seem to think up and they go viral. This could be because they're very useful, very stupid, or very weird. But before we check them out, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10 we have diagonal crosswalks. So on some intersections, there's zebra crossings to help you cross the road. But if you have a four-way intersection, sometimes you can't get across the main area of the road. For example, if you need to go diagonally from one corner to the other. And it's even worse in countries like America where jaywalking makes this illegal. Well, in Japan, they came up with a quick fix for this. Instead of you having to cross two roads, they made diagonal crosswalks. Now this may slow traffic down a bit, so it's not everywhere. But in highly pedestrianized areas of cities like Tokyo, this is a thing that exists. I have to say it's a pretty great idea which I think other countries should definitely adopt. Next up is water-saving sink. So this one may be a bit weird, and at a first glance it may seem like a dumb invention, but when you really think about it, this is a stroke of genius. And this is a dream product for those who care about the environment and saving water. So when you wash your hands, you waste a lot of water. That's why I never do. But in all seriousness, you do waste a lot of water as it's simply going on your hands and then going right down into the sink. Well, that is why in Japan they have these sinks which hook up to the toilet. All the dirty water from washing your hands simply goes to the toilet supply tank. You don't exactly need Fiji water to clean out a toilet. So second use hand wash water will do just fine. This makes you utilize the water twice, once to wash your hands and the second time to flush the toilet. This may seem like an insane idea at first, but it's actually genius once you think about it. I guess all genius ideas are slightly crazy. Next up is silent karaoke. Do you love karaoke but your family doesn't? Well, one Japanese inventor came up with a solution to this. Any Pokemon fans will know the saying, there's a time and a place. But with this invention, the time and place to perform karaoke becomes anytime and anywhere. You put this device in your ears like a pair of headphones and then sing into the tube. This will then transmit your terrible karaoke singing only to your ears. This means your family don't have to hear it around the house. And amazingly, you can even use this in public. Just imagine singing karaoke in public and nobody being able to hear it. It's like having a superpower, even though you look slightly ridiculous. Next up is lonely cafes. You ever feel kind of alone? I'm sure we all do, and one of the worst things is going to a cafe all by yourself. It can be kind of awkward sitting alone at a cafe or restaurant. You may pretend to be on the phone or write some notes to seem important, but we all know your ruse. That is why one Japanese cafe came up with this idea. If you're alone, the staff will place a soft toy in front of you. This means you're now not alone. I'd have to say I'd be slightly more embarrassed sitting with a plush toy. But I guess things are different in Japan. Believe it or not, people share food, drink, and even conversations with their stuffed animals. Would you ever go to this stuffed animal cafe? Coming up next is umbrella parking. So how many times have you taken your umbrella into work and then you've lost it? It's happened to us all and can be very annoying. Well, that is why in many office buildings in Japan you get these umbrella parking stations. Here you simply lock up your umbrella so that nobody can take it. And they also mean that you can't misplace it. Like a locker room, keys come with these and you simply take one out to lock up your umbrella. Now, this invention may seem slightly pointless and I'm sure somebody could have made better use of their time. But hey, these seem to be being used, and I bet if they put one in your place of work, someone would use it. Next up is square watermelons. So this is a staple of Japanese ridiculous inventions. In every other country, we're pretty happy with our circular watermelons. But Japan seems to like that sleek square aesthetic. That is why many farmers grow watermelons in squares in Japan. They simply grow them in clear square boxes, which is how they get to be this way. Believe it or not, there's not some magical square watermelon plants out in Japan, although that would be pretty cool. You can buy these at many markets in Japan, but be warned, these are considerably more expensive than the regular watermelons. This is because they take up way more space and maintenance, seeing as they have to be kept in boxes. Next up is circular keyboards. So some of these inventions are pretty cool and useful, right? Take the diagonal crossing for example. Well, I hate to break it to you, but this invention is definitely not useful at all. We all know that in Japan they have different characters, and this means that there's not actually enough space on some keyboards to fit all the Japanese characters on. Well, that is why some companies make these very strange circular keyboards. These keyboards have every single character in the Japanese alphabet on them. They may look pretty unsightly and hard to use, but hey, that's pretty cool. Next up is toilet slippers. So what do you wear to go to the toilet? I'm gonna take a wild guess and say your regular clothing, right? Well, in Japan, things are a little different. Don't get me wrong, you don't wear a tuxedo into the bathroom, but they do have something called toilet slippers in Japan. And believe it or not, you'll see these in pretty much every home. We all know the fact that your kitchen is dirtier than your toilet, but in Japan, they consider the bathroom to be the dirtiest place in the house, even if it's clean. That is why they wear special footwear just for their bathrooms. Japanese people don't wear shoes indoors, but in the bathroom, they make an exception, seeing as it's seen as a very dirty place. Speak for yourself, Japan. Next up is mouth napkins. So this is a pretty dumb and hilarious invention, but I suppose it might come in useful for when you're, okay, it won't. In Japan, they have these things called liberation wrappers. These are basically napkins that you put in front of your food. You see, Japanese women are afraid of seeming bad manners when enjoying a big mouthful of hamburger. That is why when they have to open up their mouths wide to eat big food, they use one of these wrappers. This makes it seem like they have their mouth closed. Now, this may seem odd to us who love shoving hamburgers down our mouths, whether we're men or women. But in Japan, women find this rude, so they use these instead. Next up is egg tubes. So a lot of people like to eat eggs, but it can be kind of a hassle making them up, right? Well, that is why in Japan, somehow they've done it for you. As you can see, you can buy these rolls of eggs. But make no mistake, these are not egg rolls. Instead, this is one long tube of egg. Now, I don't know what kind of mutant chicken is making these. Seriously, how on earth would they cook an egg like this? I don't want to know. All I'm saying is, this does not look that tasty. Would you eat one of these big egg tubes if you were in Japan? Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the most amazing invention on this list. I think it's gotta be the silent karaoke because that could be a whole lot of fun, even if people do call a mental asylum on you in the street. If you want more videos, check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.